Good day to all. In this particular video, we will be starting the chapter Animal Kingdom. Now, at the start of Animal Kingdom, there is a number given that over a million species of animals have been described till now. So, 1 million means 10 lakhs. So, that means we have discovered and described almost 1 million species till now. And these species are only of animals. One more point has to be noted here that if we talk of number of plants and animals, then this number is 1.7 to 1.8 million. So 1.7 to 1.8 million species of plants and animals have been described, but out of this, if we talk about number of animals, it is over a million. Now, talking of the characteristics of kingdom Animalia, all the members are multicellular. We can also remember that all the members are eukaryotic, as well as these are heterotrophic. So, these are the characteristics of kingdom Animalia. Now, since there are many animals present, over a million, so we need a system of classification. Why we need a system of classification? So that we can easily study the characteristics of all the animals easily. Now, first we will talk about basis of classification. So, in all, there are 7 bases of classification. We will talk about all the bases of classifications one by one. Let us first list out the names. So, the first basis that we will talk in this video is level or grade of organization. The second we will talk here is pattern of digestive system, circulatory system and reproductive system. There are 5 other patterns as well. Now, if we talk about the first basis, that is level or grade of organization. So, the level can be cellular, it can be tissue, it can be organ, it can be organ system. So, if single cells are present and they do not form a tissue, it is called as cellular level of organization. So, in this case, cells will be arranged as loose cell aggregates, but there will not be formation of tissues. Now, in this, there might be some division of labor or activities present among cells. The second is the tissue level of organization. If the cells performing same functions are arranged, we say that tissues are formed and this is tissue level of organization. Now, after tissue level, there will be organ system which will be formed. Now, in the organ level, tissues will be grouped and organs will be formed, and organs will be associated to form the organ system level of organization. So, these are the 4 levels that are present. Now, we need to see that in which level which phylum comes. Now, the first phylum we talk of is Porifera. So, in Porifera, cellular level of organization is present. After Porifera, second phylum is Coelenterata. In Coelenterata, it is tissue level, and after Coelenterata, Ctenophora also has tissue level of organization. After this comes Platyhelminthes, and Platyhelminthes has organ level of organization. We can also say that some organ systems are present in the case of Platyhelminthes, but still it will be organ level of organization. Now, proper organ system level, it starts from Aschelminthes, and once it starts from Aschelminthes, it will continue till Chordata. So, after Aschelminthes, it will be Annelida, it will be Arthropoda, after that Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and finally Chordata. So, all these phylums have organ system level of organization. After level or grade of organization, we move to second basis of classification. So, the second basis of classification is the pattern of digestive, circulatory and reproductive system. In this, we will talk about the pattern of digestive system. the pattern of circulatory system, the patterns of reproductive system are not seen here because in every phylum we see that the characters of reproductive system changes, and that is why system is studied when we study individual phylums. So starting with the pattern of digestive system. So initially there can be phylum in which no digestive system is present. Then the digestive system can be of two types. The one is incomplete and the second is complete. The difference between incomplete and complete digestive system is that in the case of incomplete digestive system, there will be just one opening, and this opening will be working both as mouth or anus. But in the case of complete digestive system, there will be two separate openings. One opening will be working as mouth and the second opening will be working as anus. Now talking of the phylums, Porifera is the only phylum in which digestive system is absent. Then comes the Coelenterata. In Coelenterata, incomplete digestive system starts. Now after Coelenterata, Ctenophora and Platyhelminthes. These will have incomplete digestive system. Complete digestive system will start from Aschelminthes. So we can say that Aschelminthes is the first phylum to have complete digestive system. Now this particular character will continue from Aschelminthes to the last phylum, that is Chordata. So this is the patterns of digestive system. After digestive system, we come to the pattern of circulatory system. Now, in some phylums, circulatory system will be absent. Then the two types of circulatory system will be open and closed. Now, in the case of open circulatory system, there will be cells and tissues which are directly bathed in blood. So, in open circulatory system, blood vessels will not be well developed, but in the case of closed circulatory system, blood vessels will be well developed and blood will flow through a series of vessels which are of different diameter. So, different diameter vessels can be, it can be arteries, arterioles, veins or capillaries. Talking about the phylum in which this circulatory system started. So, circulatory system started quite late in evolution. So, from Porifera to Aschelminthes, there is no circulatory system. So, the first phylum in which circulatory system came was Annelida. So, we can say Annelida is the first phylum to get circulatory system. And the circulatory system which came, it was closed in the case of Annelida. Now, after Annelida, there is Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. So, after Annelida, these four phylums have open, and the last phylum, that is Chordata, it again has closed circulatory system. So, that means there will be just two phylums which have closed circulatory system. One will be Annelida and the second will be Chordata. There is an exception that we can talk about here. So, in Annelida, it is closed circulatory system, but in Annelida, leeches are present, and leeches are an exception because leeches have open circulatory system in them.